Hi, my name is Paul and I work in the Human Resources Department, and I'm here to give you some tips for interviews. So preparation is really key before your interview. It takes 5 minutes out of your day, and it really shows the interviewers how interested you are in the company and what motivates you to work with the company. There's 4 or 5 things you should look at before your interview. So firstly, look at the company website and the About Us page, find out a bit about the company there and write down a few bullet points. Find out what products and services that the company have so you can bring this into your interview and relay them in your answers to your interview questions. A very good tip is to look on LinkedIn about your interviewers, find out some information on them on that, and you'll be able to kind of relate that back into your interview as well, and it'll really impress them as well. So this is actually one of the most dreaded questions for interviewees. It's a question that's commonly not answered correctly, but what an interviewer is actually looking for is a brief and concise explanation of your past experience and your education as well. 1 to 2 minute answer. Really, it's for you to get your point across, that you're motivated about the job, that you have the appropriate skills for the job, and that you are the right person for the job. Yeah, these questions are really commonly used so interviewers can see how you dealt with a situation in the past to achieve a goal. So the best way I've seen in my career is to use the STAR technique. Basically what the STAR technique is formulating an answer to the question that has a beginning, a middle and an end. The S stands for situation, when and where did it happen? The T stands for task, what was your task, what did you have to do? The A stands for action, what actions did you take to achieve your end goal? And most importantly, what was the result? In high stress situations, we can forget about the results. Don't worry, I've done it myself, but just make sure that the interviewer can see the result that you brought. Basically what the interviewer wants to see is that you have done your research as well, so it'll link back into the research that you've done, and that you've done your research on the company and the job description to bring your relevant skills across. So important things to do here is study the job description, know what is expected in the job and relay that with your past experience. Look at the company culture online, look at videos, be able to relay that with what you like in a company. And also look at the company values. It's really important to make sure that they align with your values as well, so they know that you're a right candidate for the job. Yeah, so in today's society we have a lot of in-person interviews, but now a lot of virtual interviews as well. So I'm going to break these up into 2 sections. So in person, what I would say is make sure that you arrive at the interview 10 minutes before time. When you meet the interviewers, make sure you have a firm handshake and look them in the eye. Don't forget to smile, it's the most important thing. Use a bit of humor to break the ice as well. And just in the interview, make sure to slow down. If you don't know something, just take a minute and slow down. Virtually, I would say make sure to use your hands when you're talking in the interview, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to be sitting down. Make sure that you have adequate lighting. Maybe sit behind natural light is the best way to do it. And just make sure that you tell people in the house that you have an interview and you turn off your notifications as well on your laptop. So yeah, this is very important. Now it's your time to interview the interviewer. So also, you want to find out a bit more about the company yourself and kind of what they can add to your career going forward. Some of the questions that I've seen in my experience that I thought were really good were to ask them what a day in the life of the role that you're applying for is. Also, I think a really good thing to do is actually ask the interviewers what they love about working in the company. And also make sure to ask them how the company can help with your career progression and continuous development in the future as well. Yeah, a few tips that I've come across, I suppose, in my HR and recruitment experience is, number 1, don't drink coffee before your interview. We all get nervous, we're only human, but drinking coffee before will just amplify that by 100%. And it'll make you a lot more nervous and jittery in the interview. If you're doing an interview virtually, don't sit in a swivel chair, because we're only natural and we'll get nervous and we'll start rocking from side to side, which can be very distracting for the interviewer. Make sure to practice your questions before you go to the interview. It's really important Do not write down any notes or learn it off by heart. Write bullet points because it will sound very robotic in the interview, and if you forget, you'll tend to blank. If you're unsure of how to answer a question, don't panic. Take 10 or 20 seconds to take a breather and think about the answer to the question. Let the interviewer know that it's a really good question, and then go for it.